it's Pat from Pat Seven Music, and that's right, we're talking about the top 5 things that you need to do every time you pick up the guitar. Regardless of how long you've been playing, this is something that I still do every day. Let's get into it. The point of this video is not to sort of make you feel like you need to bang your head against the wall and just think, I've wasted all this time not doing these 5 things before. Not at all. It is never too late to start. You're never too young or too old to start when you're talking about something with the arts. So by the end of this video, what I want you to do is pick up your guitar and actually start playing, and hopefully all of these different tips will help you throughout the video. Now, if there's something you're having trouble with learning the guitar, specifically picking chords, anything that we're talking about in this video, leave a comment below. I can make another video and give you a shout out for that. But without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1. Now, this list isn't in any order. So when I say number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you don't have to do them in that order. It's just these are the 5 things that will help make you a well-rounded musician, as opposed to just sort of learning how to play quick for so long, but then not knowing how to play a melody, or play a solo, or play over chord changes, that sort of thing. Or you practice all these chords, but you never learn any sort of cover songs and never write your own songs, so you never put them together. So by doing all these 5 things every time you pick up the guitar, it'll really just help form those building blocks and then make you a sort of more well-rounded musician. So the first thing we're talking about is chords. Now, if you're just starting out, what I suggest you do is every time you pick up the guitar to play, try and work on one chord. Now, if that's too easy for you and you're more intermediate or advanced, every time you play, try a new chord. Try and master one chord and move on to the next. But if you're just starting out, I would try and focus on one chord per week. I'm going to quickly smash through all these sort of starting out beginner chords, and then I'll show you some bar chords as well. So these are the chords I would learn, and in this order. Try E minor first. Pause the video if it's too quick. So E minor with this fingering. Once you do that, go on to A minor. Once you can do that, D major. Once you can do that, E major. Then C major. Then G. Then you can play F like this. Alright, so those are the first sort of beginning chords. You can play so many songs with just those few chords. Once you can play all of those, then go on to D minor. Alright. Now, once you can do all those, you can maybe start getting into bar chord sort of territory. Now, as soon as I say bar chords, people just go running for the hills, that song goes, run for the hills, run for your life. Who's that by? Iron Maiden, is it? Let me know in the comments. So once you're up to bar chords, what I would start doing is, before you even think about, different bar chord shapes and getting them all sounding nice and clean and delicious, before you even start doing that, just pick any fret anywhere on the guitar, hopefully somewhere in this sort of area, because it's easier for your wrist and sort of elbow. And then just start off by lying your first finger down. So instead of standing up, it's now lying down, and you want to just be able to play one string. Then focus on 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Now the idea is that before you even worry about any of the other fingers, or even the actual chord shapes, you're already building up that string. So even if it means each time you pick up the guitar, you just sort of focus on two strings. Then 3. Then 4. 5. 6. Over the time, even if you're doing sort of 1 string 1 week, 2 strings the next, 3 strings the next, in about a month's time, you will be able to play all those different strings, and then you can add on other fingers. That's how I would approach bar chords. So every time you practice, you should try and either learn a new chord or really master a chord that you already know. Great job. Number 2. The second thing you should try and work on every time, absolutely every time you pick up the guitar, is melody or a solo. So what I mean by that is you should just pick up the guitar, and you should try, if you don't have any melodies sort of internally, just try and just muck around and play a couple of notes. Just the 5th fret and the 7th fret on the D string. Okay. Then maybe drop down a string and use the 5th fret on the string below. Just a couple of frets, but it's already sort of building, a melody, it's building a song. But really, I'm just having fun with the instrument. I'm just using my ears to try and create a melody with my fingers, and I'm getting to know what different frets and different sort of fingerings and different strings sound like. You're just having fun exploring the instrument. Now that's one way to do it, or so you're creating your own melody, or try and learn a melody you know, that already exists. Try and learn probably can't play any more, you know, copyright reasons, but hopefully you worked out what song that is. Leave a comment if you could work it out. Try and sort of start learning a melody, whether it's you know, a song idea or maybe even a solo. Start sort of looking at sort of beginner sort of solos. That's if you just type in how to play beginner solo into YouTube, you'll get so many awesome videos. But we are going to start tackling solos on this channel, so thumbs up for that. But that's what I would do, the second thing. So you're playing chords, then you're writing your own melodies, or at least just having fun playing your own melodies, and you're also starting to learn solos as well. That's number 2. Number 3. Now remember, these are not in order, so the other fun ones are coming up. Scales. Now, when you think of learning scales, you know, I instantly go, oh, it's so boring. Can be so monotonous and boring, but don't make it that way. Once you've sort of learnt the notes and what's under your fingers and what you're actually playing, have fun with it, and then go back to number 2, create a melody with it. Just have a bit of fun, just mucking around, but you're playing a scale, you're practicing a scale, you're thinking about what notes are on your fingers, you're making a melody, it's all coming together. Now the main reason to start sort of learning your scales is you can really start to hear, different patterns in the guitar. You can start to hear, you know, when you're listening to a song, you can go, oh yeah, okay, there's a lot of G chords within this song. I wonder if it's in the key of G. I'll play a G major scale. Oh yeah, that sort of works over the whole thing. Sounds like the song's in G major. And then you can start sort of working out the vocal melody. That sort of a thing. So practice your scales, you can then solo with the scales, create melodies, and learn other people's melodies and solos using those said scales. So practice your scales. Number 4, learn riffs, learn cover songs. Now, if you watch any of these videos, chances are you probably found me through a one finger riff video, right? Hey, did you find me another reason? Definitely leave a comment below and let me know. But learn covers. I can't stress this enough. When I was first starting out with music, I didn't want to learn anybody else's music. I was such like in a cave, in a rut. I was like, nah, I don't want to learn anyone else's music. I only want to play my own music. And how pretentious is that? I wish that I could have gone back, you know, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I just sort of hit myself over the head with a paper, just gone, Pat, you gotta learn other people's music. You become so much better the more music that you start learning, the cover songs you start learning from all different genres. You all just sort of bring it into yourself, and it's like this big sort of boiling pot, like this delicious minestrone, and you just start becoming a better musician yourself. So you can't stress that enough. It's cool to it's cool to start learning riffs. Like that's cool, don't get me wrong, but also learning actual entire sort of cover songs and chord progressions. So learn the entire song, and then once you can start playing the chord progression, maybe you even start playing the melody, the solo. That sort of thing. Put it all together and you'd be surprised just learning those simple solos, chord progressions. You'll then take different ideas and you'll put it in your own music. Or once you've learned enough cover songs, you'll just be able to start picking them up by ear and you go, oh yeah, that song's definitely got an F. Oh yeah, then there's a D. Oh, and of course it's back to G. So definitely start learning covers and other people's riffs as well. So every time you pick up the guitar, you should be either working on a cover or starting a new cover. Now it's very, very good just to sort of pick up the guitar and play a fun riff, definitely. But once you've played a certain amount of riffs, start learning the full songs. I'm gonna do a lot more full songs on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Number 5 is a two-parter, okay? It's either learn the notes on the neck or learn some theory. You don't need to know much theory, and you can go so far with just a little bit of theory. I always, at the end of my video, talk about a theory playlist because there's like 110 or 13 videos and they're all in order. So it's so easy for you and free for you to learn theory, so there's no excuse not to know theory. You just go through each of those videos. So let's talk about the first part, so learning the neck. So hopefully you know the names of the string: E, A, D, G, B, E. What's a good one? Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Or Easter bunny goes dancing at Easter. Okay, different ways to remember. Once you know those notes, or sort of string note names I should say, all you need to remember is that here, right here, that's all the notes that are in Western music. Easy. So if your 6th string is E, what's next to it? F. What's next to that? F sharp. What's next to that? G. G sharp. There's no excuse for not knowing the different names of the strings, let's say up to the 3rd fret. It really won't take you that long. And if you're thinking, Pat, there's so much, it's a blank canvas, I'm freaking out, what do I do? Every week, I would just focus on one different note, okay? So focus on, let's say the first week, A, okay? So you're gonna go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. The 5th string is already A. You can go up to the 12th fret for bonus points. Then go to the next string, D, okay? D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, another A. So just learn where all the A's are up to the 12th fret. The next week, learn where all of the C's are. Next week, all of the F's. Then you'll be able to put everything together so that when you're playing chords, you're actually understanding where all the notes are and you're not just playing sort of random fingerings. Now, if you already know all that stuff, start learning theory. Start learning what makes up a major chord, a minor chord, 7th chords, scales, all that sort of thing. And remember, there's no excuse because there's a playlist that I link at the end of every single video. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Now, be honest, do you practice one of those things every time you pick up the guitar? 2? 3? Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll realize the importance of all of them and you'll start putting them into your practice routine. If you can practice every day, awesome. Every second day, a few times a week, whatever time you can put into the instrument. Good luck on your journey. Now, you've made to the end of the video, so I can tell you about this playlist. If you want to learn just theory, head here. Or if you want to learn more of a practical approach, writing songs, creating riffs, all that good stuff, head over here. But I've been Pat from Pat Dev Music. Feel free to shoot me a message over on Instagram. I'll see you again very soon.